Sensei! Look at this massive Don Quijote across the street. It's so bright even at 9 p.m. I've heard tourists absolutely love this store, but I never really understood why. Is it just because it's cheap?
Ah, Sakura. You've touched upon one of the most fascinating success stories in Japanese retail. Don Quijote, or Donkey as locals call it, is far more than just a discount store. Did you know they've achieved 35 consecutive years of revenue growth? In an industry where giants are struggling, that's extraordinary.
35 years? That's longer than I've been alive. But how? I mean, we have Amazon now and so many other options.
That's precisely what makes their story compelling. Let me ask you something. When was the last time a company actually listened to what you said about their products?
I leave reviews sometimes on shopping apps, but I don't think anyone really reads them. They just want 5 stars, right?
Exactly. But Donkey does something revolutionary. They have a system called Maji Voice. Over 15 million members can leave honest feedback through their Magica app. And here's the interesting part. They don't bribe you with points or coupons.
Wait, seriously? Then why would people bother writing reviews?
Because Donkey actually acts on them. They've collected over 1 million comments. When customers give a product high ratings, they drop the price even further. They call it Maji Price. When products get negative feedback, they have a monthly committee that picks the 5 worst-rated items and discusses how to improve them.
Oh, I think I've seen those improved based on your feedback tags in stores. I always thought that was just marketing talk.
Not at Donkey. Let me give you a concrete example. They had a product called body-friendly wrap. You know, the plastic wrap for food. Customers complained that the box was flimsy and the wrap was hard to cut. So Donkey redesigned it, made the box sturdier, improved the cutting mechanism. Then they did something wonderful. They sent free coupons for the new product to everyone who had complained. No announcement, just a thank you.
That's actually really thoughtful. But what about tourists? I've seen so many Chinese and Korean visitors at Donkey with huge shopping bags.
Ah, yes, the inbound strategy. This is where Donkey truly shines. Last year, about 37 million foreign tourists visited Japan. Of those, roughly 8 million, that's more than 20%, visited a Don Quijote store.
1 in 5 tourists? That's incredible.
Their duty-free sales reached 170 billion yen, surpassing even Mitsukoshi Isetan, the top department store, by over 30 billion yen. And they achieved this through very clever strategies. For instance, when do you think most tourists shop at Donkey?
During the day, I'd assume?
Actually, after 10 p.m. Japan's nightlife options for tourists are quite limited. After dinner, there aren't many places open. Donkey stays open late, sometimes 24 hours, becoming a nighttime destination. Their golden hour is after 10 p.m.
So they're filling a gap in the tourism experience. That's smart. But don't they just buy the same things? How do they know what to stock?
This is fascinating. Donkey has a specialized team that monitors social media in Chinese, Korean, and other languages, tracking what's trending before tourists even arrive in Japan. They call it the before travel strategy. They partner with airlines like China Southern and China Eastern, printing coupons on ticket backs and in-flight magazines. About 20% of duty-free sales come from these coupon users.
So they're catching people before they even land. But what about in the stores? How do they know what's popular right now?
When a tourist shows a store employee a photo of a product they're looking for, the employee photographs the customer's phone screen and shares it internally. This way, trending items are identified in real time and stocked immediately.
That's like crowdsourced market research. But, Professor, I have to ask, won't this inbound boom eventually end? What happens when tourism slows down?
A perceptive question. But Donkey isn't putting all their eggs in one basket. They're investing 1.2 trillion yen over the next decade, planning to add 250 new stores by 2035. And they're diversifying. They're launching a new brand where 60% of products will be daily use groceries, with plans for up to 300 stores.
Wait, Donkey selling normal groceries? That seems less exciting?
It's about market adaptation. Japan's population is shrinking, and people need affordable daily necessities. But they're not abandoning their unique identity. Have you heard of their private brand products?
Jonetsu Kakaku, Passion Price. I've seen those yellow labels. I actually bought contact lenses from them once. They were surprisingly good and so much cheaper.
Do Lens. That product went viral on TikTok with over 5 million views. But my favorite example of their innovation is something called Meshi Donkey, Food Donkey. They created a product specifically for tourists who fell in love with Japanese tamago kake gohan, raw egg over rice.
Oh, I love TKG. But wait, you can't bring raw eggs back to most countries, right?
Precisely the problem. So Donkey created a sauce that mimics the experience. A yellow sauce made from vegetable oil, egg yolk, and bonito extract, packaged with soy sauce in a small container. Tourists can recreate the experience at home. They sold 160,000 units in just a few months, with 40% purchased by foreign visitors.
That's brilliant! They're not just selling products, they're selling experiences and memories. But, Professor, this all sounds perfect. There must be competition, right? Other stores must be trying to copy them.
Indeed. There's an interesting case with My Biscuito, a small convenience store chain. In Kinshicho, Tokyo, researchers did a price comparison. Some items, like cup noodles and Asahi super dry beer, were actually cheaper at My Biscuito than Donkey.
Really? So Donkey isn't always the cheapest?
Not always. But My Biscuito achieves low prices through personality-less efficiency. Identical shelves in every store. No sales flyers, no special promotions, not even Christmas cakes. They practice EDLP, everyday low price, through absolute standardization.
That sounds kind of boring.
That's the trade-off. Donkey chooses the opposite path, the famous compressed display style, where products are stacked dramatically, creating treasure hunt shopping experiences. Each store has its own personality. It's less efficient, but more entertaining. Though, interestingly, in their new inbound-focused stores, they're moving away from compressed displays toward mass displays of popular items, ensuring products don't run out during tourist rush hours.
So they're adapting their famous style for different customer needs. That takes some courage.
Flexibility is key to longevity. Another fascinating aspect is how they work with manufacturers. In 2024, they ran a campaign with Suntory called Dotsumami Grand Election. Customers voted on which Donkey private brand snack pairs best with Suntory alcohol.
That sounds fun. But why would Suntory care about Donkey's snacks?
Because they share data. When you understand what your customers are buying together, both parties win. The retailer improves product placement, the manufacturer understands consumption patterns, and the customer discovers better combinations. They call it the win-win-win loop.
Win, win, win. So the customer isn't forgotten in the business relationship.
Exactly. Many companies talk about customer-first philosophy, but in practice, they optimize for short-term profits. Donkey built their entire data infrastructure around avoiding what they call data misleading. For instance, if 10 people say, "Make this spicier," you might think you should change the recipe. But what if 1,000 silent customers love it as it is?
Oh, so the vocal minority could lead you astray. How do they avoid that?
By analyzing both the comments and the purchase data together, along with customer attributes. They can see if the people requesting changes represent a broad segment or a niche. This prevents costly mistakes in product development.
This is making me see Donkey completely differently. It's not just about cheap prices and late hours. There's this whole ecosystem of listening, adapting, and creating experiences.
You've grasped the essential point. In retail, 3 fundamental shifts are happening globally. First, digital and physical are merging. You can't succeed in just one realm. Second, quantitative data must combine with qualitative insights. Numbers alone don't tell the whole story. Third, short-term profits must balance with long-term growth investments.
And Donkey is doing all 3?
They're among the few Japanese retailers executing all 3 simultaneously. Their Majika app bridges digital and physical. Their Maji Voice combines quantitative purchase data with qualitative feedback. And their 1.2 trillion yen investment plan shows commitment to long-term growth over quarterly profits.
But, Professor, with all this success, what challenges do they face?
Several. First, cannibalization. Will their new grocery-focused stores steal customers from existing Donkey stores? Second, e-commerce. Surprisingly, they don't have their own robust online shopping platform yet. Third, as they succeed, competitors will study and copy their methods.
The e-commerce thing surprises me. Everyone's moving online.
True, but Donkey's strength has always been the in-store experience, the treasure hunt, the discovery, the impulse purchase. That's hard to replicate online. They may have decided to perfect what they do best rather than chase every trend.
That's actually refreshing. Not every company needs to do everything.
Precisely. Focus can be a competitive advantage. Though I suspect they're watching the e-commerce space carefully and will make a move when they've figured out how to make it distinctly Donkey.
You know, Professor, I walked past this store thinking it was just a chaotic discount shop. But now I see it as this really sophisticated operation, using data science, understanding cultural trends, listening to customers, all while maintaining this fun, slightly chaotic identity.
That's the paradox of Donkey. It appears chaotic, but that chaos is carefully engineered. The compressed displays that look random, strategically designed to slow you down and encourage browsing. The late hours that seem convenient, deliberately targeting a gap in the tourism industry. The quirky products, results of systematic voice of customer analysis.
Organized chaos. I love that. This reminds me of something you taught us last semester about Japanese business philosophy. What was it called? Kaizen?
Continuous improvement, yes. But Donkey adds something extra. They don't just improve processes. They improve based on emotional connection with customers. Western business often optimizes for efficiency. Japanese business traditionally optimizes for quality. Donkey optimizes for customer delight while maintaining efficiency and quality.
That's a high bar.
Which is why only a few companies can sustain it for 35 years. As Japan's population shrinks and ages, as e-commerce grows, as global brands compete more aggressively, most retailers are struggling. Yet Donkey plans to nearly double their revenue to 4.2 trillion yen by 2035. Their next CEO, Moriya Hideki, said something interesting. Every environmental and market change is a growth opportunity.
That's a very optimistic way to look at disruption.
Or realistic. Population decline means smaller competitors fail, creating M&A opportunities. Rising costs force innovation. Successor shortages in family businesses create acquisition targets. If you're prepared and well-capitalized, what others see as threats become opportunities.
So Donkey is playing a long game, while everyone else panics about quarterly results.
In essence, yes. They're also betting on something fundamental, that people will always want physical experiences. You can buy anything online, but you can't replicate the experience of wandering through Donkey at midnight, discovering a product you didn't know existed, that solves a problem you just realized you had.
The serendipity factor.
Beautiful way to put it. Algorithms can predict what you might want, but they can't surprise you. They can't delight you with the unexpected. That human element of discovery. That's what keeps people coming back.
Now I kind of want to go shopping there. Not because I need anything, but just to see it through this new lens.
That's exactly the feeling they want to create. Not, I need to shop, but I want to explore. Whew. When a retailer makes shopping entertainment rather than a chore, they've transcended the traditional business model. They're no longer competing just on price or selection. They're competing on experience.
Professor, do you think other countries could replicate the Donkey model?
Interesting question. Some aspects are transferable. The customer feedback loop, the data integration, the focus on experience. But some elements are distinctly Japanese. The treasure hunt store layout works partly because Japanese consumers enjoy that aesthetic. The late-night shopping culture fits Japan's safe, 24-hour society. The meticulous attention to customer service reflects Japanese business culture.
So it's both universal principles and local adaptation.
Precisely. The principles are universal. Listen to customers, act on feedback, create emotional connections, think long-term. The execution must be local. A donkey in New York would need different products, different hours, different customer engagement, but the same philosophy.
This whole conversation has completely changed how I see this store, and honestly, how I think about business. I always thought success was about having the best product or the lowest price.
Those help, certainly. But sustained success, 35 years of growth, comes from building a system that continuously learns and adapts. Donkey isn't successful because they made one brilliant decision. They're successful because they made 1,000 good decisions, learned from them, and built mechanisms to keep learning.
That's actually inspiring. It makes success feel more achievable. Not about one big breakthrough, but consistent, thoughtful improvement.
Now you're thinking like a true student of business, Sakura. Come, let's walk. The evening is pleasant, and I think we've thoroughly dissected this particular retail phenomenon. You've been listening to Narrative Japan. Until next time, stay curious and keep listening for the whispers beneath Japan's economy.